Welcome to the Hamsey Analytics Daily Market Commentary. I'm Pablo Navarro. Today is Thursday, November 8, 2012. For the market internals, the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline differential closed at negative 1,389. Nasdaq advanced decline differential closed at negative 1,163. We had 0 new 52-week highs for the S&P 500 and 13 new 52-week lows for the S&P 500. Very bearish internals here today. For the volatility, 300,000 contracts traded on the VIX today with 38 million in total premiums paid. For the dollar-weighted put-call ratio in November, we saw 0.51, which is neutral, with 41% of the total premiums paid. And in January, we saw 0.42, which is bearish, with 29% of the total premiums paid. Those were the big months, and they were not very bearish, as you could see here. Here we have the daily chart for SPX. We have a very important down day today, down 17 handles or 1.22% for the day. But here you can see we broke the 200-day moving average and closed below it. That is pretty significant here. We must watch tomorrow the reaction after that. It was only at the close that we closed here. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow. Yesterday we talked about coming to this 200-day moving average almost for certain, and that was our lower target here. So that's what we're looking here. We're almost at negative 3 sigma and the 200-day moving average. We may be getting soon a bounce here, but still we're looking for lower prices, maybe an intraday low of 1364. That's what I'm looking at so far here. If we look at our weekly support, pivot, and resistance here in our 60-minute chart, we still want to see this 1373 or the weekly support number 3. That's going to be pretty important here. Maybe get the last flush here, down here, and then start to bounce up there. So we still want to see a little bit more of a flush before we start to bounce here of SPX. If we go to our moving averages chart, here we have the daily chart. And as you can see here, we broke everything today and looks like we want to go lower, finishing at the lows of the day. So far maybe looking even to this 1345 level. That would be an important level, but that's pretty far away. I'm looking for a shorter term, maybe 1365, 1360, and then try to bounce back higher. Remember now our 200-day moving average is going to become resistance, so that's going to be important to keep in mind here. As for SPY, here we have the daily chart for SPY, closing below the 200-day moving average at 138.24 or 26, and we're looking for lower prices, maybe come even to 135, 136 level, and then start to get some type of a bounce, and we're going to see how it acts against this new support of the 200-day moving average. Of course, we have to watch tomorrow. Maybe we get some type of a dead cat bounce here. We have been selling off pretty steeply lately. Maybe come and get a dead cat bounce and then go back down. So that's what I'm looking at here. I don't think the downside is finished yet. So we continue to be cautious on the downside and looking maybe for a oversold level short term to get some type of a bounce, but I do not see it yet here. Going now for the Qs. Here we have the daily chart for the Qs. Nasdaq ETF, and this one is working perfectly. We called 62 target. We are still not there, but look at this drop after the 200-day moving average was broken for the third time here. We tried to break it here, no go, closed below it, but then we had a pop here, then again, and after that we just sold off here. Very nice pattern, very bearish here. 62 would be the first target, and then 60. So that's going to be the target here. We continue to look for lower prices on the Qs. If we maybe try to get some type of a bounce, I still think we are going to get lower prices before we go higher. So that's what I'm looking here for the Qs. For the IWM, here we have the daily chart, and what a bearish chart we have here. Lower highs, lower lows. Very nice here. Looks like we are on the bottom of this channel here. So maybe we are up due for a bounce to this 80 level. Even we go to 80.60, we continue to be pretty bearish. We could even go above 80.60, break the 200-day moving average to the upside 81, and we continue to be on a bearish trend. So don't get fooled here on a bounce. We are going to be on a bearish until 82 or so, that we break this downward channel and we make a higher high. So that's going to be important here. I'm still looking for lower prices. 76 is going to be our target. This couple of lows here, and then even test this level, but that's pretty far away. So let's look here to continue for higher prices, and don't get fooled if we get some type of a bounce here. A bounce and then go lower. So I'm pretty bearish here on the chart so far. Now let's go for a bullish one. We have GLD. Pretty nice bounce of the 200-day moving average. We were selling off this correction, and after that we just bounced back. We talked about wanting to close above the 50-day moving average. Well, we have here the 55-day moving average and the 20, which are the green and the blue lines here, and we close above it today. We want to see a Friday close or a weekly close above that level, which is important, and that's what we're getting so far, finishing at the highs of the day. GLD, pretty nice day, up 0.8%, which was pretty bullish here. We continue to go higher. Our target, we already violated the lower highs we had here, so now we're looking for a change of trends. Our next target is going to be 70, and after that we're starting to look at here the highs, maybe 74, 73. So pretty nice change of trend here on GLD. Yesterday we talked about the reversal we had here on SLV intraday, closing almost at the highs of the day after being down almost 2.5%. And you can see here we continue to go higher today. We were up 1.6% for the day, pretty bullish. Also nice reversal after this 200-day moving average was broken momentarily for a day here, as you can see. So we continue to be on a bearish trend here on SLV. We have not passed this previous high. We want to break that. That's around 31.50, and we also want to break the 20-day moving average at 31.38. and then the 55-day moving average at 31.85. So basically we want to close around 32 level. That's a little far for this week, but we just want to start continue to go higher and start changing this trend to a bullish trend here. Very nice chart pattern, and we still have some momentum to go, even if we change that to 34th and even higher. So that's going to be important. And this one, we're starting to make higher lows here on the longer term, which is important. You can see here this was our lower low here, and now we're starting to make this one interesting. We want to see this previous high broken to a new higher high. So that's what we're looking at here on SLV. Let's go to our last chart, the VIX. Here we have the VIX chart, and let's go to our Sigma channels chart for the VIX. Daily chart for the VIX here, we are down 3% for the day, as the S&P 500 was down 17 handles. Pretty weird action here, but it's pretty normal selling, so the VIX is not showing any panic yet. We want to still go higher, 21, 22, even 24 level. We're still not showing any panic here on the S&P, which leads us to believe we have more selling to come. So be caution here, watch the VIX. Maybe a spike on the VIX will tell you when it's time to get in, maybe for a bounce. But from what it looks here, we are still due for more selling in equities. We have a special offer by TradeStation. Get your HEMC Analytics proprietary indicators paid by TradeStation. Contact Active Traders office in Chicago, Peter Albino, at the number listed below. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.